What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Changing of the Hip Hop Guards podcast. I'm your host, the journalist Sincere. That's my partner, Uncle E. And tonight we have a very special guest, Joe Fatal. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm glad you had me on here tonight. Thank you.
No doubt. We're going to take it all the way back and then bring it up to what you currently have going on in 2022.
Okay.
For those who may not know, forgot, or just new and in tune with you, where were you born and raised?
I was born in Puerto Rico. I was born in Santurce, Puerto Rico, and I was raised there until I was about 6 years old. Then I, my family moved here, and I moved to Flushing, Queens.
Give us a little timeline of all that, getting to Flushing.
What, for being in Flushing?
Yeah,
well, when
what
I
did you
was
touch
in Flushing, I moved over there by Casino Boulevard by like 45th Avenue, Colden. I don't know if you're familiar with Colden. That's the Wastelands. That's where Royal Flush is from. You know, it's Colden. Colden was like maybe 5 blocks long. You know what I mean? So it's like everybody knew each other on those 5 blocks.
Gotcha.
So,
Right.
You know, so I went to like first grade with Large Pro. You know what I'm saying?
First grade.
Royal Flush was a couple of years younger than us, so you know you didn't hang out with him like that because you know when you're 6 and somebody's 3 years old, like you don't really hang out with them, or when you're 10, you don't hang out with a 7-year-old. You know how that goes.
Right.
So yeah, the boxer Kevin Kelly was from the block also. You know what I mean? A lot of talented people came out from there, and then from there, it was just, adolescent age and all of that. I became like 13. I ended up moving to Jackson Heights.
Okay.
And in Jackson Heights, that's next to Corona. So that's where I started developing. Well, in Flushing, I developed the love for music. But in Jackson Heights is when I actually put it to work. So, like one of my first good friends in that area was Kool G Rap. So, you know what I'm saying? G-Rap was my first link into the music game. I was going to high school and I love music. I was trying to figure out a way to get into this hip hop game. And I was succeeding by going to the clubs and faking it till I made it, like pretending like I knew people to get into the club, like what I'm saying, like rappers or whoever used to get to the front to get put, and I'm like, yo, what up? What's going, yo? And they be like, yo, what up? I was so convincing, that it was like, do we know this dude? They used to look at the whole entourage like, and when security be like, all right, who's with you? They'd be like, they look back and they'd be like, yeah, he's with us too and shit. So I was, you know what I'm saying? And when I hooked up with G-Rap, I did the same shit to him, bro. Like the same shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I pretended like I knew him and he thought he knew me. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I actually knew somebody that was with him. My boy Drew, Dr. Butcher.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I was already starting the DJ shit. So I seen Dr. Butcher one day walking with him to the movie theater. And I was like, yo, Drew. And he was like, yo, what up? And then he introduced me to G, but I pretended like I knew, yo, remember? And he's like, oh, word. So we went to go see Phantasm 2. They were walking to the movies. So I went ahead and just added myself to the equation. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, cool. Went to the movies with them and shit. We all left there, exchanged numbers. At that time, it was house numbers. It wasn't, cell phone numbers. And we connected, we connected. And he was the one that actually then am I rambling?
No, you're good. No, ramble.
I'm telling you my life story.
Right that's what we want.
He basically, I started hanging out with him, and he was tied in with Eric B and with Rakim.
Okay.
Because Eric B and Rakim were the ones that took G-Rap actually to Marley Marl. So you know what I'm saying? So it was like, because Rakim was actually like after Shan and Shantae, he was actually like the first person that was working with Marley. You know what I'm saying? Like Eric B for President, that was produced by Marley. You know what I'm saying? It was like it was kind of basically like Rakim was Marley's artist. And yeah, so I hooked up with G. He hooked me up with Eric B and Rakim. I'm still in high school, and like I went on the road with Eric B and Rakim and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like as a roadie, like connecting Eric B's turntables and shit like that on the road. Like my first shit was a Canada tour. I went with them to Canada. You know what I'm saying? It was like I'm 16 years old. You know, so I'm like, I'm already cutting out of school like crazy anyway. So it's like, you know, yeah. So I took off with them, and it was funny because when we used to come back from tour, I used to go back to my high school, but the way I used to do it was we used to come back, everybody was dead tired, but you know, I'm 16 years old. I got energy like a motherfucker, you know, plus I'm excited. I'm on the road with Eric B and Rakim. So I used to be like, yo, Rob, you know, you're going to go back to Long Island later on today. Let me go take your car to get washed and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So I used to take his car, and you know, like I get into the, you know, what was the car he had at that time? He had a couple. He had the Benz, the white with the blue rag top, but I took the Cherokee, the burgundy Cherokee that had the wheel cover on the back. It's on the I think it's on the whatchamacallit, on Follow the Leader album.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's, you know, it's got like, you know, the universal flag on it or something. So I took that car and I drove it up to the high school, man. And for some reason I turned on the radio. I was trying to figure shit out. He had the system in there. I looked in a glove box in the middle. All his jewelry was in there, bro. So I put on the watch with the flip cover on it. It was like the Mercedes Benz, and he had the Mercedes Benz fucking thing. I had the ropes on, everything, bro. And I drive up to the high school, and everybody's like, "Yo, you robbed Rakim?" And I remember I got EPMD playing, man. I got EPMD playing on that shit. It was 2 cassettes that I had in there. Throwing that to say, I would throw the EPMD, and then I would throw the Nice and Smooth. You know what I'm saying? The Nice and Smooth album, the first album. And I'm just driving around the high school. So that was my into the music game. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That was my into the music game. Then I'll let you ask me before I get into the actual working on music, you know?
Right.
Okay.
But real quick though, when you're saying you linked up with Eric B and Rakim, what period of time was that? Was that like first album was out already?
That was the end of the first album. That was when they started recording Follow the Leader.
Oh, okay.
So Follow the Leader wasn't out yet.
Got you.
Yeah.